Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rizky Anugra Putri from 5APA. In this change, I would like to explain about workplace bullying and harassment. What must workers do? First, report if they observe or experience bullying and harassment. Second, not engage in workplace bullying and harassment. And the last, apply and comply with workplace policies and procedures on bullying and harassment. First, report if they observe or experience bullying and harassment. The definition of sexual harassment in the workplace means the same as sexual intercourse anywhere. Harassment can come from coworkers, bosses, customers, or clients. Harassment can take the form of unwanted touching, inappropriate comments or advice, or someone betting a promotion on you with an imbalance of sexual favors. You can keep harassment cases confidential by talking to your boss, but you need to report that in a plan. It usually involves the perpetrator, the harasser, and other potential employee. You don't need to be afraid to report harassment because Indonesia has regulation governing sexual problems in the workplace in general. Second, not engage in workplace bullying and harassment. Workplace violence is arbitrary behavior that is persistent, offensive, harassing, intimidating, insulting, or unfair action directed at another individual, thereby causing the recipient to be threatened, harassed, humiliated, or vulnerable. Trade unions and employers must work together and can ensure a work environment that is safe and free from discrimination, violence, and acts of harassment, because a safe work environment is very supportive of achieving strong and productive industrial relations. For some cases of acts of sexual harassment, the execution of acts harassment that was repeated because usually the victim left for reasons of feeling uncomfortable or awkward when the perpetrator commit the indecent or harassing act. Specifically, to anticipate acts of sexual harassment in the workplace, the most effective step is the attitude or action of the victim herself to dare to say no or expressly reject when someone wants to commit the sexual harassment act. Third, apply and comply with workplace policies and procedure on bullying and harassment. Prevention is the most effective way for an entrepreneur to leave harassment issue at work. Preventive measures include: first, communication. Socializing new truth, for example, the cooperation against bipartite, tripartite corporation institution, and various print and electronic media. Second, education. Organizing orientation and introduction programs for staff, religious lectures, or special occasion such as events already programmed. Third, training. Providing specific training for supervisors and managers to the problem that exists in the workplace and develop our diverse strategies for prevention, forming a harassment resolution response team. The last, encourage companies to implement harassment prevention in workplace, including taking disciplinary action in the form of company policy and work agreement or company regulation or collective bargaining agreement. Talking to an alleged bully. It is recommended that you follow the steps whenever you experience sexual harassment. First, tell the bully what behavior was inappropriate. Second, make it clear the behavior is unwanted and unacceptable. Third, stay calm Fourth, don't retaliate. And the last, report it. If you're the target of or witness to bullying and harassment, first, you need to explain to the sexual harasser that you do not want the sexual act or sexual act to bother you. Second, if you are embarrassed or afraid to make a formal complaint of sexual harassment, share your sexual harassment problem with some of your coworkers who can be trusted. Third, if you wish to file a complaint informally, you can report this incident to your supervisor or the trade union committee in your company. Fourth, you can also make a formal letter of complaint to your boss and representative of trade unions related to the making of collective labor agreement or to the manpower office. Next, if you are not satisfied with the decision of the authorized investigation committee, you can appeal to the district court. And the last, if you are still harmed by the district court's decision, you can make a representation to the governor for justice. And how can companies prevent cases of sexual harassment that occur in the workplace? First, prevention is the most effective tool employers can use to deal with sexual harassment in the workplace. Second, training. Providing specialized training and trainers to identify problems of harassment and prevention. Training for the sexual abuse response team. The last, encourage companies to build a commitment to the implementation of prevention of sexual harassment in the work environment, including the provision of sanction and other disciplinary measures. That's all from me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.